Hello, and welcome to our interview series with the wonderful teachers at the art department at the Community College of Baltimore County. This is in conjunction with the exhibition at the Catonsville Gallery. And we're sitting down today with Trisha Kyner and a little bit about her. So Trisha, first question is, what led you into wanting to have art as a major role in your life?
Oh, that's an interesting one. I was very lucky that I had school teachers for parents. So I did have art classes just as a child. I remembered I took a clay class when I was, I think, 8, but I actually went off to college. I'm first generation to be an artist in my family. And I went off to college intending to major in political theory and biology. And I did end up studying American Studies and art, but I moved into art for a couple of reasons. I think mostly I had drawn and enjoyed that, but I really was hooked by 3D sculpture, ceramics. I was also, as you know, a well-enriched child, had taken a lot of dance lessons, and I love dance. And sculpture kind of let me use my whole body, which is something I really enjoy, that I can use my mind with all my body when I make art. And that seems to be the recipe for me just really enjoying myself and not feeling too trapped in my head or anything like that, to have mind body together. So I decided to major in art as an undergraduate.
Very cool. Great. So that leads into what made you want to become a teacher?
Well, it is the family business. My mother was an English teacher who then became an elementary school counselor. My father was a high school biology teacher. My grandmother taught one-room schoolhouse out in small Colorado towns. And I grew up on her stories, and my uncle and aunts are all teachers. So my rebellion is being an artist. It's not being a teacher. And I grew up with these amazing role models of teaching, actually, which I really feel blessed that my mother is a wonderful one-on-one teacher, and that's why she became a counselor. And my dad was a fantastic lecturer who could make cells and DNA just fascinating. So really grew up with it. And I worked in museums for a while, but then I went back to get my master's, actually more to advance my art because I wanted to push it, but I also knew that it would open the doors to teaching by getting a master's, and I felt quite comfortable doing that. So the joke of it, the first class I ever taught was actually as an undergraduate. I got to be a teaching assistant for a class called Women in Radical American Social Movements. So you can only imagine, but I did.
Love it. Perfect fit.
So, but then in graduate school, I started teaching art, drawing mostly, and some 3D, and I really enjoyed it. So it was always sort of the plan. Yeah.
So our final question is, if you met someone who had never seen your artwork before and you had no way of showing them an example, how would you describe your work?
Well, I sometimes say that the way I sculpt to show how the body feels internally. And I think that's something that's real key to my work. But I would also probably do a lot of pantomime and get away by becoming the work myself.
I love
because
that.
It is based definitely in movement, and a sense of what it means to have a body and be in a body is really crucial to my work.
Great. This has been wonderful. Thank you so much for sitting down with us today.
Pleasure.
And thank you all for joining us, and hope you enjoy this as well as the other interviews in the series, and get a chance to see the exhibition with everyone's artwork in it. Thank you all.
Thank you, Emily.